Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles in Connecticut, the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful the elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And this is another brother, GMS, I believe he's in England. And or he's like an affiliate, at least, of GMS. And but he goes by the YouTube handle Children of Israel. And the brother went into a beautiful lesson about, Esau, thy terribleness have deceived thee. And then he also put, and thy pride, and the pride of thy heart, right? Because that's ultimately what Esau is. The pride, heart meaning lob, right? So in his mind, his his terribleness is, which is going around the earth and doing what he will, but that time is coming to an end, and it deceived him, made him think it was going to continue forever. And the brother's going to show you how that's coming quickly coming to an end, or people is no longer finna just sit back and let this devil just do whatever he wanted to do on this earth, so to speak, right?
Right, and yeah, these are definitely small hats on this news channel. So anyway, I want to listen to this interview here, and he's interviewing this is an Iranian professor, very popular guy, very, very, very likable guy, very popular guy, speaks a lot of sense 99% of the times, right? Regarding the things that are going on in the Middle East, right? I forget his name, but he'll introduce me, tell you his name. But I want you to listen to the pride of these devils, right? And listen to how this is why I said that these devils, they're salivating on their mouth when it comes to what's going on between Israel and Iran and the other countries in the Middle East. Basically with this war that we know that's about to take place. So listen to this interview here, and then I'm going to play you another video to show you how these devils lie about what happened 2 days ago in Israel when Iran retaliated against them, right?
Well, Professor Mohammed Morandi from the University of Tehran joins us now. Thank you very much for being with us, Professor. I just wonder, first of all, what has Iran achieved by this attack on Israel? Very few of the missiles got through. It, in effect, failed. Many people are calling it a humiliation for Iran.
Now, that was a complete lie, what he said there, all right? And he said many missiles failed to get through, all right? And I'm going to show you a video and a BBC reporting to counter that, what that devil just said, which is a complete lie. But I'm going to let you hear what the professor has to say to him, what he just said there. But I'm going to show you evidence, independent evidence, even though I don't totally rely on the BBC to tell you the truth, because the BBC is a state-run TV station in the United Kingdom, because the BBC is run by the state in the United Kingdom, right? It's a public-funded network, so it's a state-funded network, BBC. But I'm going to show you the lie that these devils are telling you on Sky, all right? And this is what mainstream media is about. What you see Sky TV doing, they're the same as CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox News. These mainstream media news channels are all controlled by the small hats, all right? And they will never tell the truth of their life relied on it, these devils, all right? So listen to the response from the professor.
I think that's a lot of wishful thinking on behalf of you and your colleagues at Sky News. It was a massive blow to the Israeli regime. And the history of this conflict doesn't go back to last year. It is 76 years of ethno-supremacism, ethnic cleansing, and this is a racist regime that you support. What the problem is that you cannot recognize that the difference between you and us is that you support racism and racial hierarchy, and we reject it. And the Israeli regime...
That's 100%. These Edomites, this whole war, first and foremost, is based on white supremacy. They support racism. They support Edomite racist apartheid governments around the world and Edomite racist white supremacy policies around the world, right? That's the first and foremost, right? Because all of the nations that are supporting Israel are all Edomite nations that are supporting this devil in this war, all right?
They dare strike back at Iran. We will hit them much harder next time. We will beat them into submission.
But they will strike back, won't they? No sovereign country can put up with having 180 ballistic missiles fired at them. So they will hit back, they will hit hard, and they could well hit your nuclear facilities, your oil production installations. They could cause Iran serious damage.
So you can see what the report was doing, right? He's virtue signaling. He said, they could hit your nuclear plants, they could hit your oil refineries, they could hit your infrastructure, right? So you can see that what he's doing is virtual signaling to the rest of his Edomites to say, yeah, this is what we need to do. We need to hit their nuclear power plants or their gas and oil refineries in Iran. This is what he's doing. But that's the pride of these devils, because this devil just said that no country will accept you, another country firing 180 missiles into them. But yet these Edomites can just take their planes, their jets, and fly over another country and say they're hunting a Pacific terrorist that's on their so-called list, and they can go and send their F-35 jets into sovereign countries and just fire missiles into them to kill so-called terrorists that they're after. And no one can blink an eye. No one can say anything to them. They can go and invade, do what they need to do to get rid of who they consider the enemy. But anybody else that does that, they are considered terrorists. But this is how the devil works. This is the hypocrisy of these demons. This is how they work. But anyway, listen to how the professor responds to this devil.
Listen, instead of the rhetoric, be real, because you're misleading your own people. Iran has countless underground missile sites with hundreds of thousands of missiles across the country. They were made after the US invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan to deal with a potential war with the United States. So this puny regime, it is not a state, it is a colony. It is a racist, ethno-supremacist colony which the people call themselves the chosen people. Unlike you, we do not believe in chosen people. And the Palestinian people
those people in the land of Israel are not the chosen people. But yeah, there is a chosen people in the scriptures according to the Bible, but it's not those people in the land of Israel today that call themselves Israelis. Those are Edomites. They are the wicked that the Bible speaks of, right? And that's the head tribe. The head tribe that we see in the land of Israel today are the tribe of Amalek. The Amalekites are the grandchildren of Esau, right? But they're all Edomites. But
Right, Con. Yeah, right. So yeah, we there's definitely a chosen people, and we believe in those chosen people because we are those chosen people, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, right? Which are the hidden ones. We are the chosen people. So he was going on a good. He was going good until he said that, right? Yeah. So Genesis chapter 27, verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, which was Isaac, right? Which is, if you know, if you believe or subscribe or have a understanding that Isaac is also Yahweh Shai, right? So, you know, there's a such thing called regeneration or reincarnation, which is the same thing. Re meaning to do again. Carnal mean carne was back in the flesh. Or regeneration means to do again, to be back in your generation or whatever generation that you're meant to be in, right? Right. So, this is Esau said to his father, "Has thus but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, oh my father." Right. It's basically, technically, he's talking to Isaac, but technically he's speaking to Yahweh Shai, right? To be honest, and um, you know, and ultimately this goes back to the father, right? Because the ultimate decision or blessings come from the Most High Yahweh from above, right? Because Yahweh is above Yahweh Shai, right? So this is ultimately when he's going to give him a blessing, which is going to come from the Most High. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac, right, which is Yahweh Shai, Isaac, his father, answered and said, right, because he must have, he's answering what the Most High is speaking to him, right? And so this is all spiritual, right? And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. See, and this is why the brother's explaining how they go around the world bombing other people, and you better not bat an eye or even think about bombing them, right? Because they're looking at you like the audacity, how dare you, right, ever come against us? Because we have this blessing, right? And at one point in time, people did allow them to just bomb and tear up their country, and they never really fought back too much. You might get a little pushback, but overall total pushback, no, you didn't have that. So it's saying so thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven above, right? Which this is why this devil is it's called the prince of the air, right? Because what he has is airplanes, international space stations, his what do you call it? His unicorn, his satellite dishes, you know what I mean, in the sky, which basically gives him that power to wield basically the sword, and by thy sword shall thus live. And see, and that's what his alma motto is, right? His whole thing is I do a rootin' and a tootin' and a shootin', Yosemite Sam, that's that guy, right? Everything can be answered with guns and bullets and shooting, Nothing's really spiritual about this guy, or nothing's ethnic or moral, should I say, or holy to this guy, unless he's using it to ultimately lure you into shooting you and killing you. Then he has a whole lot to say, right? So by the sword shall thus live, and shalt serve thy brother, right? And under King David, on, and on, and when, and this has been an off and on process of them serving the children of Israel. And it shall come to pass when thus shall have dominion, right? See, and that's where they're at now. They're in their dominion. They're ruling. That's why they look at, how dare you shoot back at us? Because right now this is their dominion. They're ruling. That thus shall break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob, right? And they hate you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, man. They hate you Israelites around the world, right? Even you Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, like they it's harder to detect you, but it's a spiritual thing. Something about your spirit, how you move. These Amalek, the small hats, the you wish, you know what I mean? And just Edomites in general, the self-proclaimed so-called white men, no matter where they're at, no matter what European country they come from, or wherever they say that they come from, these Edomites, it's a spiritual thing that they hate you. They have to come against you in one way or another, right? Because of the blessing, right? Wherewith his father blessed him, and Esau said in his heart, right, which is mine, right? So Isaac just gave him a blessing. You know what? You are going to have the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven. You're going to have it. You're going to have it by the sword. But after all that, guess what? He's ruling the earth right now. But guess what? Even in his dominion, he's ruling. He hates you, right? Yeah, and he hated Jacob, right? Yeah, wherewith his father blessed him, and Esau said in his heart, with heart meaning lot, which is your mind, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then shall I slay my brother Jacob, right? And that's ultimately what this whole thing is technically all about, right? It's really about killing you Jakes, man. Because Jacob's trouble is around the corner, right? Yaquab's trouble is around the corner. So this is what this devil is, the pride of his heart, like the brother was saying, has deceived him. It deceived him. Yeah, so this is Zechariah chapter 2, verse 6. Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, in which that's America, North America, right? Which is America. The land of the north, saith Yahweh, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds of heaven, saith Yahweh, through the transatlantic slave trade, right? That we have been scattered all over the world, but that main place where we're going to be at is that the land of the north, which is America, right? And we're going to prove it right here, which is verse 7. Deliver thyself, O Zion, right? Which that's to Zion, which memorial, which means to remember, right? A memorial is for remembrance, right? That dwell with the daughter of Babylon, right? And that's America, Babylon the Great. So that's proof, whether you accept it or not, right? That is proof. That's talking about America, which is the daughter of Babylon, right? For thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai of hosts Ba'ashem Rakal Kodash, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. See? In which we were sending around the whole world, right? To the transatlantic slave trade, right? But the main particular place is here in Babylon the Great. Because this guy saying he don't believe in a chosen people. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye, right? So the apple of your eye, your cornea, or something that you love, right? That you hold dear unto you, In fact, I'm going to read this one more verse. For behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention. I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil, right? Which be taken. Spoil means to be robbed, right? To be taken advantage of, right? Because that's ultimately what these Edomites have been doing since they got the blessing by the sword. So you're going to get the fatness of the earth by the sword, and that's how they've been living, right? That's how they have gotten everything, right? But it's starting to wear off, right? Because I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna show you that the Lord, right, which was Isaac, which returned back as Yahweh Shai, has revoked that blessing, right? And ye shall know that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai of hosts have sent me, right? You're gonna know that the Lord did this, man. That Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai of hosts had done this, man. Hosts meaning armies, man. The Lord's gonna leave you desolate, right? Yeah, right there. Yeah, sing and rejoice. Sing, O daughter of Zion. See, sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for lo, which means to look, I come and will dwell in the midst of thee, saith Yahweh, man. So what are you talking about? There ain't no chosen people, right? Yeah, so this is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thus are in holy people, right? So we're speaking to the Israelites, right? Not the Israelis, right? Which really goes into Yasha Allah, right? Which is speaking to Yasha Allah, should I say, right? Because saying Israel is like a modern terminology, a way of saying things, and that really actually means nothing, really. Yasha Allah, right? That's really what the Lord gave. He, Prince of Power, right? Yasha Allah, right? For thus art an holy people unto Yahweh, thy power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, thy power have chosen. Wait, hold on. Have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. So there is a chosen people, all right? Above all people that upon the face of the earth. Yeah, so this is Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, have spoken against you, O children of Israel, right? Or Yasha Allah, should we say. Yasha Allah, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. Right? So, and the Lord did us through transatlantic slave trade, punished us dearly. Right? Right? Through this devil getting the fatness of the earth by the sword. But at the end of the day, the Lord has chosen a people, right? And has a chosen people. And out of all those chosen people and out of all these nations that the Lord has placed us above, he only knows us, right? So at some point in time, he's gonna have to bring us out of these conditions, these low conditions, which that's what's occurring as we speak. As the time keeps ticking, the Lord's gonna have these nations going to war with each other as the elect is being sealed.
The Amalekites are the grandchildren of Esau, right? But they're all Edomites. But yeah, there is a chosen people, but as you should all know by now, it's not those devils that are in the land. We know who the chosen people is according to Bible prophecy, all right? And our job is just to sit back, repent, convert, come back to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, and the prophets of the chosen people. All we're meant to do is just prophesy, nothing else. The rest of you, you're just meant to repent, convert, come back to your true heritage and accept Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ as your Savior, right? With repentance and conversion coming back. So let's listen up.
That land who've been displaced and pushed into Gaza and who've been slaughtered regularly over 76 years, we will not stand for that. All people in the whole of Palestine must be equal. The Israeli regime, if they strike Iran, we will hit them much harder next time. And they can pretend that they got away, but we hit them very hard last night. We hit their bases. And unlike the Israeli regime, which constantly carries out slaughter and genocide and is carrying out a Holocaust in Gaza, we struck their military targets because unlike you, we actually care about human rights, not you.
Professor, let me just say that we're on the verge of an all-out war, well, certainly a war between Israel and Iran. It could be a war that Iran loses. If Iran does lose that...
That's the pride of this devil. He said it could be a war that Iran loses. Well, we know, according to Bible prophecy, that Iran will not lose this war against Israel because the Russians, the Turks, and the rest of the Arab nations are going to come on side to fight this war against Israel and its allies, America. So we know they're not going to lose that war. The war that the nations are going to lose is the war against Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and the legions of angels alongside Michael, the chief archangel, who will be coming to fight this war, to lead the armies that Yahweh Shai is going to be leading against these nations. That's the war all of the nations are going to lose. But the war that Israel and America is going to fight against Iran and Russia, Iran and Russia are not going to be on the losing side. And that's Bible prophecy. All right? But this is the pride. This is what I said. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee. Thy that dwelleth in the clefts of the rocks, which is these devils, the pride of his heart. Let me just quickly grab that scripture. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee. All right? Thy that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock. We're going to come back to the video, man. You got to allow me to have this scripture, right? Is it Jeremiah 49 and 10? 49 and prophecy concerning Edom. Hold on. All right, 16. Where is it? Yeah. It's deceived him. We're going to come back to the video. All right, just quickly just drop the scripture in here. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 49. And this is why it starts. This is why it says here, the prophecy is against Edom. All right. Edom is a place and it's a people. The place that represents Edom, is, we should know, is the United States of America. The people that represent Edom, which are the Edomites, are your so-called Europeans, the so-called white man. As we always tell you, there's no such thing as white people or black people. Everyone belongs to a particular biblical nation, and the so-called white people belong to the nation of Esau, the Edomites. Right? So this is why it says here concerning Edom, thus says the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? There's no more wisdom in these devils. Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? And their wisdom has vanished, completely vanished. Completely vanished, their wisdom. Alright? I want to just jump down to the point. It says it here. Jeremiah 49:15, it says, for lo, I will make thee small amongst the heathen and despised amongst men. They are despised amongst all of the heathen nations outside of Esau. They are despised amongst all of the other heathen nations outside of the Edomites. So the Edomites are despised amongst all the other nations. Thy terribleness has deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as an eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, says the Lord God. So the Lord is going to bring them down. This is what they don't understand. And that's going to begin with the Iranians, the Russians, the Turks, and all of their different allies. They're going to bring this devil down. But that's his pride. So let's listen to the rest of this interview.
Do you think that the current Iranian regime could survive a defeat? Because that is if what you say is right, then Iran is going to hit back even harder. That could be where this all ends up.
Iran will not hit back harder. Iran will hit back much harder. The head of the Iranian forces says Iran will destroy, target, and destroy all of the Israeli regime's infrastructure. This was the tip of the iceberg. Iran will lose no war. The Israeli regime will. It is time for you and others to end your racism and to end your support for the superior race and to accept that all people in Palestine have equal rights and the Palestinian people have a right of return. Jews, Christians, and Muslims are equal. Unlike what you say, they are equal, and we will accept nothing less than that. The regime must go, and all people must be treated equally. If the only thing, there's a doubt that Israel will lose, but the only variable here is the United States. If the United States gets involved, have no doubt, the U.S. will be swept out of Iraq by the Iraqi resistance, and all its assets in the Persian Gulf will be destroyed. All of regimes that U.S. bases will be destroyed, and the oil and gas markets will cause a situation where the global economy will collapse and millions of people will be on the move. So be careful about making stupid mistakes, and the West should stop with its arrogance and get real for once.
Okay, Professor, thank you very much for...
Hey, I like how you said that. Oh, man. See, but, hey, this might all be part of they way to introduce the MOTB, right? I mean, why not? It's a crisis. Never let a good crisis go to waste, you know. And you know, sometimes that's a way of them. What do you call it? Predictive programming, right? You know, that's you know, in a sense, that's a good way of predictive programming right there. The way the dude broke the scenario down, and you're like, oh shit, that could happen, you know, in that fashion. And you know, it's kind of one of those things that's out of your control. It'll be so-called out of control of the Americans. And then on top of that, it's a war. Hey, man, you know, who knows what to do, how he broke that down. You know, you don't know if that's just them basically, you know, like I was saying, just doing, you know, kind of just throwing it out there, putting it out there, you know, so they can have a a reason, show you, hey, this scenario was put out there at one point in time, and it's exactly what happened. You know, order out of chaos, right? You know.
Social media was inundated with videos showing a barrage of missiles launched from Iran towards Israel, and our team has been working through the night to verify the locations. So let me take you through what we found. These are missiles launching from Shiraz in Iran. US intelligence had warned the attack was incoming. Iran said its targets included Israeli air bases and the Mossad headquarters. We've been able to verify strikes in the vicinity of 3 key locations: Nevatim Air Base, Tel Nof Air Base, and what's reported to be the Mossad headquarters. This video is from Nevatim. The lights piercing through the night sky are missiles heading towards the air base. In just one video, we can count at least 9 missiles clearly hitting the ground.
That's just one video, just to show you that these devils were lying. And I'm surprised the BBC is even showing us this information, right? Because, like I said, the BBC is a state-sponsored news channel, publicly sponsored, state-sponsored news channel in the United Kingdom. So even they are telling you in one video, all of those missiles, nearly a dozen missiles hit the base. She's showing you in one video, because they won't allow the reporters to actually come in and see, so they've got to rely on what people are bringing them this information. That's what I said, that devil on Sky TV was lying through his teeth. Absolutely lying through his teeth.
Through the night sky are missiles heading towards the airbase. In just one video, we can count at least 9 missiles clearly hitting the ground. Pro-Hezbollah media say this airbase was used in the killing of Hassan Nasrallah. The Nevatim airbase is believed to house F-35 fighters, but most were presumed to be airborne. The second location we've looked at is the Tel Nof airbase. In this video,
that airbase was where they hosted most of their F-35s. The Israelis are not going to tell you how many F-35s were destroyed or damaged. They won't tell you that. But those missiles got through. Let me tell you, they got through.
you can see a crater, not at the airbase itself, but at a school a few miles away. We matched the school to recent social media photos, plus the size and the shape of the surrounding area to satellite imagery. We also verified videos of missiles hitting northern Tel Aviv. A short distance from what's reported to be Israeli intelligence headquarters. This video was taken from the balcony of a tower block.
Then, that video, right? This is Tel Aviv. That's meant to be Mossad headquarters. See, they will not admit those targets were hit. They will not show their weakness. But that's the devil.
Northern Tel Aviv. A short distance from what's reported to be Israeli intelligence headquarters. This video was taken from the balcony of a tower block. Then we matched it to this video. Here you can see the crater of that attack.
The crater. Look at the crater. They're trying to tell you that these missiles didn't get through. They're full of SHIT. But that's the devil.
Here you can see the crater of
Where is Iran? Where are they when the real action starts? And many people think, like I said, it's because Iran either lacks the capability or the will to try and respond to what's happened. Why is Iran not doing anything? The world is watching, and the world is curious.
Iran will respond, have no doubt about that. And the Israeli regime will be punished.
A few moments later.
action starts.
So this is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. For lo means to look. I will raise up and cause to come up against Babylon, which is America, the daughter of Babylon, an assembly of great nations from the north country. See, dealing with that north country, right? Which we're at Babylon the Great, north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her, right? Right, which Amalek, right, over there in the middle, so-called Middle East, right, is gonna a small one is gonna draw them out to the battle, right? Right. So ultimately, that's what's happening right now, right? The Lord is basically causing all this stuff between Iran and Israel in order to pick a fight to make the big boys come out, right? You got these two smaller nations. You're gonna have them beefing, and then like America is like the big brother, so to speak, to Israel, and then Russia is going to come in as the big brother to Iran, and the Lord's basically all this stuff is the Lord allowing them to pick a fight, which is really they're gonna allow themselves to come into their own demise, right? Because that's what the Lord is already saying, right? That north country, which is America, Babylon the Great, they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain. Right, which you kind of seen with those 180 missiles, and those are just regular missiles, right? Those ain't hypersonic. Those are not hypersonic nuclear missiles. That might have been hypersonic ballistic missiles, but they were not hypersonic nuclear missiles. But you can see what some hypersonic missiles just in itself could do, right? There's some damage, and that's not even nuclear yet. So how much more when it's nuclear, right? And just skip down to here. And it says, put yourselves in array against Babylon, right? Which is the daughter of Babylon, which is America. Round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, right? That's why, and it makes sense that they're going to be 200 million warheads, not necessarily missiles, but 200 million warheads, which each warhead has warheads or what do you call it? Because those are atoms. They have these different cluster bombs inside of it, and they're gonna spread out. So it's more than in one warhead. It could have 100 to 200 different clusters that's in it, just in itself, which is going to increase the number, right? 200 million warheads, right? Or detonations, right? Not necessarily warheads, but or missiles, but in those warheads are going to be 200 million ways to die, right? So to speak. For she have sinned against Yahweh, right? Shout against her. See, and that's ultimately what that guy was doing. That I guess he's a professor or whatever, and they was speaking against him, or he was saying certain things, and that's basically what he was doing. He was shouting out against her. Shout against her round about. She had given her hand her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of Yahweh take vengeance upon her, as she has done do unto her. Right? And what was that guy speaking about? He was speaking of 60 something years of war and oppression from Israel, from America, right? And he said, "Hey, look, we're tired of taking it. We're tired." And see, and that now that's the thing that's coming back around, right? Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6: Shall not all these take up a parable against him? Right? See, because they're basically tired, right? So they're taking up a parable of taking up, a parable against him, right? Which is America, Babylon the Great, right along with Israel, right? And that's what the guy's saying. Hey, Israel, you've wronged us so much, and hey, go ahead and get American. And if America, hey, they're gonna lose too, right? Whoever comes, hey, we're tired of it. We're having 60 something years of something of oppression and going back and conflicting, and look, we're tired of it, and we're not gonna lose. It's basically what the guy is saying, and that's what it is. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, "Woe!" No, no, you're gonna get destroyed. And woe means destruction. He said, "Hey, look, woe! You're gonna get destroyed, man. Woe means destruction. Weeping and gnashing of teeth to him that increaseth that which is not his." Man, you've been going around bullying us, taking our oil, doing this, doing that. Hey, we're tired of it, man. That's basically ultimately what the guy is saying, right? How long? Hey, man, how much longer is this gonna go before somebody buck up against them, man? And now that's what's happening, man. The Lord is ultimately picking the fight. He's allowing this to happen. It's the Most High, man. The Lord, hey, is a beautiful chess player, man. This is all chess that's being played, man. Champion, man. The Lord is a champion. He's gonna allow you to pick a fight. You're gonna pick a fight, and you're gonna fall into your own doom. And to him that layeth himself with thick clay, and see, that's ultimately what the guy was saying. Hey, look, you're the ones that's in debt. You're the one who lay yourself with thick clay, a batyat, clay, debt, right? So we'll collapse this, and then all this thing, and then we'll do all these things and fight, and we'll mess up your oil system, everything that you hold near and dear to you. All that's going to allow your economy to collapse. But like I was saying, him saying that might just be all they're using predictive programming, right? Because we know a lot of these people are insiders, and so also, yeah, Iran shot missiles and whatever, and the missiles actually hit and this and that. But how much of this is real? You know what I mean? You got to know. I remember hearing that even when I was a kid. You know what I mean? You're talking, this is in the 80s. When I was a kid. I'm talking young. I remember I'm 5, 6, this is like 80, 84, 85, 86. I used to hear people say it all the time. Don't believe everything you hear, and only half of what you see. And people used to say that a lot. But now we're coming into the time that is so much prevalent. It's so prevalent right now, but no one's saying it, and no one's putting it out there. Well, except for the men of the Lord. They're telling you, hey, don't believe everything you hear, and only believe half of what you see. Right? Because even though you see it, it's real, but it may not be real. So to speak, because there's such thing called crisis, the crisis actors, or setting forth the stage for a crisis. And so this could be like the way the guy just threw out the whole scenario, that it could be this and this and that, and it can make the economy. I mean, how do you know that? Why are you saying something like that? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense how you could just break down a scenario like that. How did you, but like I said, predictive programming, right? Which goes into America and this world that's filled with a batyat or clay, which is dead. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, right? See, and ultimately, hey, there is going to be people who come up and say, hey, look, we're not gonna take it no more, and actually fight. So at one part, this is a real scenario and real things are actually happening, but they said never let a good crisis go to waste. So you could use that as an excuse of why the economy is collapsed, right? Because they don't want to take complete responsibility necessarily for it, but it's a way that you could introduce the MOTB, right? We're in war, everything is happening. We got to know what's going on. We got the immigrants coming from, so we just need a fast way to know what's going on. So this is the only way the economy collapsed. There's no more dollars, but we do have this system that's set up that you could buy and sell, and this is the way that you could buy and sell. You know, easy way for it to come in. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee and awake, right? Because people are starting to wake up and realize, hey, wait a minute, 60 years of going back and forth with you guys, and then what do we get out of it, right? You're still our oil, you're still our women, you're still all sorts of different things that's going on, our jewelry, our gold, our silver, you know what I mean? You know, you even got our women talking about they don't need to wear the headdress, they don't got to cover their face. You got our women acting out of turn, out of order, all because of you, right? You got men wanting to be all of a sudden be homosexual in these regions because of you. So shall not and awake that shall vex thee. Okay, see, now Israel's getting vexed, America's getting vexed, and thus shall be for booty unto them. Hey, and now everything you're doing, it's going to make them money, right? Your collapse is actually going to benefit Iran. It's going to benefit China. It's going to benefit Russia. It's going to benefit your enemies. And that's ultimately why even your allies are going to come up against you, because they're going to say, hey, look, all these other, being with you is going to be my ultimate demise. Everybody else is coming up. They're making money at your fall. I'm going to step back and start grabbing some of these dollars and let you just fall by yourself. Right? Because it says, because thus has spoiled many nations, right? All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. See? Now all these things are coming to the other people. See, and that's what I'm saying. This seems like a scenario that the way the guy broke it down, it's like a scenario that they can use in order to bring in the MOTB, in order to have their investments into something else. That way they make money, and it hurts the American economy, the people, and then even other people in the world, because the U.S. dollar is the U.S. world. It's the world currency, the world reserve currency, right? So it's going to affect pretty much the whole entire world once the dollar collapses. So it makes sense why the guy was saying, "Oh yeah, your dollar, it'll collapse the economy. Well, what economy? Once it collapses the economy, it's going to collapse the world's economy. It won't just collapse America, since the American dollar is the world reserve currency, and every country has to pretty much use the U.S. dollar, even though they're so-called doing the de-dollarization and they're saying that they don't want to use it no more. The dollar is so integrated into everything. Even Russia and China, they still have to use the U.S. dollar at this point. But if it completely collapses, right? How the guy was breaking it down. Now you're for spoil, right? And the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of the men of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and violence of the land of the city, right, which is Babylon the Great, and all that dwell therein, right? See, and they don't like you regular Americans, right? It says, woe unto him that coveteth an evil covetousness, right? And that's America's a super covetousness place, right? So that's why a lot of them are going to step back from dealing with America, because it said, woe unto them that woe unto him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, right? Which is America. You're going to be falling apart, man. America's a very covetousness place, that he may set his nest on high, right? Going into international space stations, and you know what I mean? And, you know, basically being above the Israelites, trying to be above all the other nations. You walking around proud. You set your nest on high, right? Being you was in the Caucasus Mountains, and you come from Mount Seir, right? That's just in your nature from being in Mount Seir in the Caucasus Mountains. You're used to being up high, and this thing makes you feel like you could look down on people. See, but it's gonna come to your demise, and you can see how the guy was talking bold to the guy. Well, what if Iran lose? Wouldn't that be catastrophic for them? Wouldn't that be bad? You know, Iran ain't gonna lose, which according to the Bible, it's not. You know, like the other brother was saying. But I could see them using that as a catalyst to bring in the MOTB. That would be perfect, right? That he may set his nest on high, right? That's America, Babylon the Great. You know, got the international space stations, and they got their, you know, just even their mindset is set on high. They got the skyscrapers, and you know, these tall buildings and things like that. That really come from these Edomites, man. Even though everybody else in the world picked it up. Why? Because they're the, you know, this is their kingdom, right? That he may be delivered from the power of evil, right? So yeah, they're in their bunkers, their international space stations, you know, hiding from the coming doom of the ICBM missiles. That thus has consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul. Hey man, and hey, that's ultimately what went on, man. So all these other nations and all this thing, and they gonna get busy on Amalek. They're gonna get busy on Babylon the Great, America, for backing them up. Yeah. So this is Job chapter 20, verse 20. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, right? See, and that's ultimately, you know, what's happening right now. You know, with these nations rising up against them and doing certain things. But then, like I was saying, a lot of this is controlled opposition, right? Because a lot of this goes back to, you know, all these nations. You know, they all go to these summit G summit meetings, and they've been doing so. They're interconnected with each other. These are all square men, right? They're all Freemasons and part of whatever secret society. You know, all the governments, they're all intertwined together. So, I mean, it also could be, like I said, predictive programming, how the guy even said what he was saying. But, you know, what was going to happen, the Lord is going to allow this thing to play out as far as you think you're playing this predictive programming game, and they're interconnected and all this other things, but something is going to happen where it becomes real, or it's going to really actually meet your demise, right? So surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desire, right? He's trying to save his kingdom, right? His rulership, right? Because he's in rulership. Esau Edom is in rulership right now, right? We read that he was going to get the fatness of the earth by the sword, and he's done that, man. He went around the world warring with all sorts of people, you know, the Iraq War, the what is it called? Desert Sands, Desert Storms, like it, Desert Storms, Vietnam, right? What is it? World War II, World War One, you know, Civil War, the war against Gad, the war against, you know, Jackson in Europe and in Africa, right? Basically, these are things that he have done to take over and conquer the world, going all the way back in the time that he came out of the Caucasus Mountains, man, taking down strongholds all over the world, all the way into today, where he's ruling over Australia and all over North America, and you know, where he so-called conquered even Hong Kong for a while, which is China, and they supposed to have gave it back to them, right? But even still to this day, Hong Kong is like a different place than the rest of China, right? But yeah, Japan, you conquered Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, dropping Fat Boy and Little Man, right? Got everybody wearing suits and ties and building up skyscrapers all over the place, right? So you conquered the world. You did what you want to do, but your desire is to keep that, right? But the Lord said, "You shall not save that which you desire. There shall none of his meat be left." Right. So all the things, the things that was good, you know, the land and things that you took that were good for you, it ain't gonna be nothing left, right? Therefore shall no man look for his goods, right? See, none of your goods are gonna be left. Nothing's gonna be good for you, right? It says in the fullness of his sufficiency, right? So this is gonna be somehow, as everything seems like it's, you know, it's like it's almost like they say the more you grab onto something, the more it's like it's slipping through your finger. So his thing is, let's push it. Let's push the charagma. Let's push everything. Let's use this this crisis and not let it go to waste. And this will be the thing that says that the economy collapsed, and now we have to push the charagma. And then now it seems like everybody got the charagma. Everything's is going according to plan. God said I wasn't going to save that which I desired. You know, and you know, and that type of thing, because it's going to be in the fullness of his sufficiency. Because everything's going to be going exactly the way you planned it. At least it looks like it. All these millions and billions of people are chipped. Everybody's bowing down. Hey, either you want to live, you're going to get the chip. You want to die and starve or get your head chopped off, be facing the guillotine, facing the firing squad. Hey, so be it. But this is how it's going to be, and we're gonna keep our blessing, right? And that's how you're going to see it. So it's going to look really good, because you're going to have a lot of people get chipped. But the Lord said, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straight. See, now something's going to happen. While they're playing this little we're square men game, and we're part of this shadow government, something like it tells you in Ezekiel 38 that the Lord's going to put an evil thought basically in his mind, and there's going to be no more games. Buttons are going to get pushed, and missiles, ICBM missiles, are going to be shot from America. ICBM missiles are going to be shot from Russia, China, from all these different places, and they're going to hit all these different strategic places around the world, right? Every hand of the wicked shall come up against them. See, and then you're going to have the people, right? And this wicked is talking about the regular average day worker, right? The workers, the things. So you're going to have riots in the streets. You're going to have all sorts of things happening. You know, people are going to be against the charagma. Some going to be a lot. It's going to be for the charagma. Everything's going to look. It's going to be going the way you think it's supposed to go, but you're going to be in straits, because Russia is going to step in, defending Iran, right? Like it tells you in Ezekiel 38, and the buttons are going to get pushed for real. So it's not going to be just some ballistic missiles. And we're gonna prostrate ourselves and make it look like we're having a war, and make it look like we're just having this debate or this little thing going down. We'll look like we're having a disagreement, and you know, and just pretty much use this to just continue to deceive the people. You're gonna be deceived into going into an actual all-out war. It says, and when he is about to fill his belly. So everybody's chipped. The whole world is chipped. Everybody's being deceived. All the governments are coming together. They're using whatever they're using to communicate with each other, while they're pretending to actually hate each other, right? It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the power, the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, shall cast the fierce of his wrath upon him. See, and when it talks about Gog in the land of Magog, right? Getting the evil thought, that'll be the Lord. To bring in Yahweh Shai shall rain upon him, right? Which the ICBM missiles are going to rain upon you while he is eating. So, hey, once that all happened, everything's going to be going good, and it's all of a sudden ICBM missiles are being shot. And you're like, wait a minute, what the oh, get to your bunkers, go to your thing, you know, which you're prepared for that, to be in your bunkers. But the way you thought it was just going to run smoothly and everything's going to be good, and you're just, you know, come in, kill the people who need to be killed, chip the people who willing to bow down and worship you, and so to speak. You know what I mean? And worship your system. You know, be with the status quo, and then everything goes on, and in that way the Lord don't have to come back. Hey, he shall flee from the iron weapon, right? Which is talking about the ICBM missiles. You're going to go into your bunkers. He shall flee from the iron weapon and the bow of steel, right? Which is talking about the ICBM missiles, shall strike him through, right? See? That whole thing, that when the ICBM missiles being shot, and you know, this game manipulation and all this other stuff that's going on is going to be put into an end. The Lord's going to put an evil thought in Russia and Putin's mind, and it's going to be an all-out war for real. And America's going to be turned into a desert, right? And it drawn and cometh out of the belly, right, of the silos, right, the missile silos, and the glistening sword, right, the ICBM missiles, cometh out of his gall, terrors upon him, right? And that's what's going to come to America, right? But not only to America, to Israel, right? ICBM missiles are going to hit Israel also. And all darkness shall be hid. All darkness shall be hid in his secret place. And a fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill, right? Not a good thing. It's going to go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle, right? All those are part of the tabernacle of Edom who ain't in those bunkers. It's going to go ill with them, right? Because what? All these other Jakes, all these other brown people are going to actually start recognizing, hey, it was this devil, and how we've been going against each other. At least we're all brown, and this guy this the only weirdo on the planet. But he's been going around setting up, saying how things are supposed to be and how things are to be played out on the earth. And this guy's the only weirdo on the planet who don't look like everybody, who only one who ain't walking around with more than just a little bit of melanin, right? And you know, all these nations are gonna realize, hey, you're the one why blood has been shed around the world, right? And ain't come against you. So, and you pushing in the charagma, and the Karax, the Grapho, and people are going to realize that. Well, a lot of people are going to get it. That's why it says in the fullness of your sufficiency, because pretty much a lot of people are going to get, you know, CHIP, you know, upped. Yeah, they're going to be, you know. So with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakah Quadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and do well, to the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching the truth with sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom, to you sisters, you Akwathim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader with meekness and with silence and a Bible ball.